Hello everyone, welcome to the Honors College celebration. We are so excited for our first ever Honors College live stream, but also Honors College Scholar Celebration here at Azusa Pacific University. Right outside these doors is our Wilden atrium where several of our different guests, your students from the class of 2024, class of 2023, even several different alumni, honors program students, honors college students. We're so excited for a great event today. We're going to get started in about 5 to 10 minutes. You'll see this room start to fill up with students, parents, and family. And so stay tuned for an awesome programming. We'll see you soon.
The Honors College is a magical place. Our secret is well understood by Augustine and Aristotle. Augustine describes a community as a fellowship of people united by what they love. The love that unites the honors community is learning for the glory of God. Because of this common bond, honor students become friends, Aristotelian-style friends who help one another strive for wisdom and virtue, who truly wish for one another's good. In that spirit, honor students enjoy good conversation. They laugh together, read together, pray together. They share about trifling and serious matters, disagree without rancor, teach one another, learn from one another. College does not get much better than that.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the Honors College celebration. It's great to see all of you. I was just commenting to some different people. It seems that every time the Honors College community gets together, there's so much energy in the room. You guys bring it wherever you go. So it is always a pleasure to be in your company. So I want to make just starts off a special welcome to those who are joining us via live stream. We have guests with us from Northern California, from Arizona, Idaho, Illinois, the Pacific Northwest, and even the East Coast. So welcome to our friends who are online. So this event is the result of the dream of one man. That one man is Curtis. Curtis told me a long time ago that we needed to have an event where we recognize those students who pass a major milestone in the Honors College experience. That milestone is completing the 5 core courses. Because having done so, you forever become an APU Honors College Scholar. And that is true whether you're pursuing the major or whether you're pursuing a minor for our current students, and it's also true for our alumni who were not here when we started this brand new tradition, but each year as we do it in the future, we will also honor our alums who come back. So we think that this milestone is worthy of celebration. So we're gathering together today for that purpose. We will celebrate Honor Scholars again at our Honors College commencement celebration, when you will receive an honors medallion to wear at graduation. And of course, after graduation, you will officially become an alumnus of the Honors College. And we will be delighted to have you continue to be a part of this community in a whole different way. So shortly, you are going to receive a tangible acknowledgement of this accomplishment, an Honor Scholar pin that we hope that you will wear proudly. The pin was also Curtis's idea. And I think we will start a new tradition of honoring him by calling it the Curtis pin. All of you will want to wear your Curtis pin as often as you can. So we're delighted to have alumni and parents with us as well. So, and if you're an alumnus of APU or you're a parent, would you please stand so that we can recognize you? We are also delighted to have a number of our faculty and some members of the administration who are with us today. So would you please stand? And it's also particularly important that we express our gratitude to Curtis and Natasha Zimmerman and the student staff who put many hours into planning and arranging this event to celebrate you. So let's express our thanks to them. So as the planning for this event got started, Curtis and Natasha were so kind to ask me to give an address. And my first reaction was, the last thing that the students want is to hear one more lecture. So I thought maybe I would tell you a story instead of giving you a lecture. It's a little known story about John Wesley. I think it's a story that by the time I get to the end of it will help clarify the significance of being an APU honors scholar. So when I think of John Wesley, I think of a circuit rider traveling on horseback from parish to parish, stirring the heart of England by preaching sermons about salvation and sanctification. And that image is largely correct. He did that for decades. But it leaves out a lot of his life. Wesley's career actually began as a brilliant student at Oxford University, studying logic and the classics. And as honors college students, you will be impressed to know that as he was an undergraduate, he read Homer, Aristotle, Virgil, Cicero, Augustine, Milton, Shakespeare, and Newton. And most of those he read in Greek and Latin. He was so impressive as a student that as soon as he graduated, he was offered a faculty fellowship at the age of 23. And for the next 25 years of his life, he was an Oxford Don. He was a colloquy tutor, receiving an annual wage from the world's most famous university. Well, Wesley was a religious man in those early days, and so he would often preach on campus. And whenever he did, he would draw very large crowds. And there's one particular sermon that stands out. But before I go into that, let me go on a little bit of a tangent. You probably know that Oxford reeks of history and tradition. It's been around, after all, for 9 centuries. It's a place where, without a tinge of irony, you can have a college founded in the 12th century and call it New College. It's a place where modern history is considered to be anything that occurs after 285 AD. One of Oxford's many charms is that they honor tradition even when they have either forgotten or have grown indifferent to the reason for the tradition. For instance, Oxford today is largely a secular university, but their motto is Psalm 27:1, "The Lord is my light." And another interesting tradition that I participated in part, is that when the faculty would gather for dinner at high table, the ensuing drinking extravaganza would always be preceded by a Latin prayer. Another tradition is a church service sponsored by the university that they would have at the beginning of every academic year. It was called the University Sermon, and it's delivered at the University Church of St. Mary the Virgin. Now, St. Mary's has stood at the center of Oxford for over 700 years. Only 450 years at the time John Wesley was there, but it's still standing. It's at the physical and often considered the spiritual center of Oxford. And it stands adjacent to the Bodleian, which is the world's most famous library, symbolically reminding us that faith and learning are perfectly compatible. So to go back to this sermon, Wesley was so popular among his students, it was no surprise that he was invited to deliver the university sermon in 1744 to launch the academic year. And it was a momentous sermon. It was a turning point in his life. St. Mary's was packed. The audience, John's brother Charles said, was never more attentive. His sermon was entitled Scriptural Christianity, and it was a sermon on Acts 4:31, in which he elaborated on the work of the Holy Spirit in the church. And he attempted to craft a vision of what a proper Christian community ought to look like. Most of the sermon went well, but when he got to the end, things changed. It was his closing that shocked the audience, and some described it as sacred censure or unnecessarily insulting. Because in the final section, which was his practical application, he suggested that perhaps England was no longer a Christian country, that Oxford was no longer a Christian city, and that the university was no longer a Christian institution. And to drive home his point, he asked specific questions of the students and the faculty and the administration of Oxford University. Here are some of those questions. Is Oxford still true to its Christian mission? Is an Oxford education for the glory of God or for your glory? Our students taught that without love, learning is nothing but splendid ignorance and pompous folly. And is the university still mindful that the greatest educational aim is to know, love, and serve God? The answers were obvious, which is why the crowd was offended. Oxford had become, he said, a community of triflers who lacked seriousness about the most important things. The university was guilty, but they were more offended than guilty. And the university will never again invite John Wesley to fill a pulpit in Oxford. So what Wesley thought Oxford once had been and should forever be in the future is in many ways what the Honors College aspires to be for the sake of our honors students. We want to be an institution that is true to our mission to liberally educate the next generation of high-achieving, academically motivated Christian leaders. We want it to be a college for God's glory, intended not to honor ourselves, but to honor our God-given gifts. We want it to be a place that acknowledges that without love, all learning is splendid ignorance. And we want to be a community devoted to knowing, loving, and serving the great I Am, the author of life, the light of the world, the Alpha and Omega, the great Savior. So in the world's eyes, we bear little resemblance to Oxford University. We lack their rich history, their stellar reputation, their magnificent, magnificent buildings. And I don't want to needlessly disparage Oxford. It is a charming, magical place. The 2 years that I spent there are among my most fondest memories. And I can say confidently that people of faith reside in the city and work in the university. And it has many, many admirable qualities. Even Wesley, after essentially being run out of town, remained nostalgic about his time in Oxford. It always had a claim on his heart, and he spoke often about his affection for the university. But he was saddened that the university did not offer what its students most needed, and that is knowledge of God. So Oxford has many things that we lack, but what they lack is notable. We bear little resemblance to Oxford because we more clearly understand, as Winston Churchill said, the first duty of a university is to teach wisdom, not a trade, character, not technicalities. We know that aspiring leaders need a moral compass to do what is good and right in the sight of God. We know that being skilled and learned is not enough. All of us must strive to become better and wiser by seeking virtue and embracing wisdom. We also differ from Oxford because we, as a faculty and as a student body, understand that wisdom requires knowledge of things both human and divine. Only such wisdom provides us with perspective and discernment and empowers us to gain our bearings, to navigate our challenges, and to stir the hearts and minds of those around us. So because of that, we stand as a bulwark against the canard that you have to choose between being intelligent and being religious. Moreover, unlike many secular colleges and universities, we also bear witness to reality in all its material, moral, and spiritual fullness. The historian Christopher Dawson once said something that I love quoting. It inspires me in terms of what we do. He wrote this: "So long as the Christian tradition of higher education still exists, the victory of secularism, even in a modern technological age, is not complete. There is still a voice to bear witness to the existence of the forgotten world of spiritual reality." We are such a voice. If Oxford would revert to its origins and do these things today, I think John Wesley would fantasize about rising from the grave and going back there and teaching all over again. He loved Oxford, but he loved a certain type of Oxford. I hope that John Wesley loves what we do, and that when we meet him in heaven someday, he will shake our hand and he will say, "I would have gone to APU." That's why I think being an honor scholar at APU is so important. I think we offer you something that you're not going to get somewhere else, and it's something that can change your life. So I want all of you to know, as honor scholars, I am deeply proud of you. I love working with you. You're the reason I come to work each day, excited about what I do. So congratulations and thank you.
Learning this year does look a bit different than it has before. Classrooms and dorms have been replaced by laptops in bedrooms. Everybody, from students to teachers, have been jostled by this abrupt change. Nevertheless, we carry on. As students, professors, athletes, artists, and professionals, all of us have to adapt and grow. In the Honors College, we read, wrote papers, struggled, succeeded, laughed, made new habits, and broke old ones. Although we're scattered across the globe, we did it together, and we're still in this together. If the last few months have taught us anything, it is that wisdom and virtue are not just found in classrooms or on campus. It's found also when we learn together.
Many people want to forget that time. It's funny. But community transcended a space during that time. That was my community. This is my community. When I look in the room, I see leaders, I see alumni, I see friends, and I see marvelous comrades, faculty, and fellow learners. Wisdom and virtue is found when we learn together. And that transcends being at a place like Azusa Pacific and in the Honors College, or having experienced the Honors program. It looks like it could take place from house to house. But we're here to celebrate today the community of the Honors College. And I want to particularly celebrate the realities of where we have been and the gratitude that I have for where we're going. And I want to say thank you. Class of 2023, class of 2024, recent alumni. Our community wouldn't be what it was and what it is and what it is going to be if it wasn't for you. From the online community on Discord that immediately was started, Connor, Caleb, Dylan, and several different people in IMT partnered together with our Honors College community to make that happen online. Y'all remember those Discord channels? Those are crazy. and the great idea of let's record every lecture cannot go without all of us in this room giving us a round of applause to Carl and Barris and Jack Berry, who filmed 120 plus lectures. Room can thank Barris, who is filming today. After colloquy conversations, branding and marketing, rebranding from scores of conversations on the Dean's Cabinet with your two classes, with Cadence Billman leading the charge, 30 plus episodes on the podcast, and probably about 20 to 30 more in the queue ready to be edited. Yeah, that's right, Hal. 60 plus Honors College leaders every year serving our Honors College community. Several of you are in this room and know the sacrifice and the hard work and diligence. Leaders in the Honors College all across our campus, serving in a variety of different roles, whether as alpha leaders, SGA, writing center, tutors, whatever that may be. You make up the fabric that is Azusa Pacific University. And something that I have deeply appreciated as a fellow Honors College scholar is advocating for the vision of the Honors College, our great books community and curriculum, our inclusive pedagogy, and the hospitality and patience in conversations. I had several consultants come and tell me as they've observed classrooms from a variety of different networks, say that your classrooms are accomplishing something that doesn't happen in many places all over the world. It is daring, it is hospitable, it is generous, it is challenging, and it is indescribable. It has been a privilege to learn alongside each of you as an Honors College scholar. And as many of you know, I've shared for 7 recruitment cycles now that Azusa Pacific University was founded in 1899 as a God-first university. And our 4 cornerstones, Christ, scholarship, community, and service, will become the bedrock to something bigger and better for the rest of your life. And I love this community, a community that celebrates and a community that honors one another. As we look back to our sophomore celebration that the seniors in this room made happen. And this is what we do. Student-centered education that consists of 3 components: rigorous curriculum, relevant academia, and relational pedagogy. And so, rigorous curriculum, this is what you had accomplished. You have read 40+ books, 20+ completed exegetical commentaries, some pending, especially for democracy. Thank you, Dr. Plum and Dr. Weeks. You have participated in 150+ colloquies. You have completed 5+ portfolios. You've engaged in 75+ rhetoric group meetings, maybe times 2 or 3. You've published 5 Oxford books. Woo! Congratulations. For me, from Machiavelli to Martin Luther King, the idea of the ends justify the means, to the vision of a beloved community that our leadership curriculum takes us through, to the secular pilgrimage of the Odyssey, to the spiritual pilgrimage of St. Augustine. From antiquity to postmodernity, from wisdom to democracy, to putting all the pieces together like Frankenstein. This has been difficult, and it's sometimes hard to look back. But could we look back with gratitude of the beauty of what we've experienced together? And I hope that this particular time has been helpful in reflecting back with gratitude. Relevant academia. Every single one of you represents 8 spheres or domains of leadership: arts and entertainment, behavioral sciences, business, communication, media relations, education, government and law, science and technology, and theology and religion. And in those spaces of interdisciplinary colloquies and conversations, you have refined one another and each other's scholarships. As you've presented in conferences on various topics, as you've had conversations with faculty fellows that have been heartfelt, that have helped refine virtue and vocation in your life, you have learned alongside Dr. Marcia Berry. Our drink is named after her. I love it. I could use some right now. The Margarita has been fantastic. Public communication, speaking clean and clear, hating it less, and liking it is an option. You've accomplished that. Relational pedagogy. When I first started in the Honors College about 3 years ago, I shared with our current leadership team that we needed to do 4 things. We needed to build these things: connection, collaboration, conversation, and clarity. That we would connect in a variety of different avenues, in a variety of different spaces. That we would not just connect with our own class, but with others. That we would collaborate with one another to come up with innovative ideas and events and ways to build community, like the fireside chat, right? Or even our Discord server, to even our new honors reports and beyond. Our honors mentoring program that was a space for cultivating vocational conversations with honors college mentors with the same degree program. We've had leaders across campus, as I said, an unbelievable staff team, and a living learning community as we learn together. And we have all gained clarity in who we are and whose we are as believers on our own journey. And I believe that the best is yet to come. So Honors College alumni in the room, Honors Program alumni who will watch this in the future and are present here today, shout out to the Morgan family. And many of you who will be alumni in the near future, and our current students have the opportunity to continue to build this legacy. Here are some things to look forward to. We are excited for launching a podcast again. You know how excited I am about that. But it's capturing stories like a time capsule that we can look back to and share with others We're excited for alumni and parent engagement to start, and so parents, we would love for you to have a seat at the table to build communities for yourself. Alumni from our honors program and honors college, we're excited to get to know you. We want to build friendships with our honors program alumni in the years to come. And we want to invite our entire community into honors college mentoring groups that will be like 2 Timothy 2:2 kind of discipleship type groups, where you have an honors college program alumni meeting with honors mentoring groups, and those honors mentoring groups meeting with those incoming prospective students and the mentors that they do have already on campus. 4 generations of honors mentoring happening in every single moment throughout the fall semester. We're excited for our honors report to continue to be launched and showcased, and that you would come back to events like this to kind of hear what's going on in our community. But this is a space of celebration. We talk about friendship all the time. My first colloquy ever was about the 3 types of friendship, as according to Aristotle. Friends of utility, friends of pleasure, and friends of virtue. I had never had a language for that before in my life. And as a double alumni, I understand what it looked like to build relationships throughout my 4 years at APU. And what I'll say is that the kind of virtuous relationships that y'all have forged in this space is absolutely nothing short of a miracle. So I want to encourage you to take those spaces beyond here, into homes, with your family, showing others what that could look like, opening up a great book, engaging in a conversation. But I want you to always remember, as we think back to that sophomore celebration, that you are family, that Ohana means family, and that no one gets left behind or forgotten. And so please, don't forget us. Don't forget your community. Now look, 5 people to the left, 5 people to the right. I know you got a bunch of back of the hand, but you get the idea. Look across the screen. You being honors college scholars will never change. It is an honor to be one, and it has been an honor and a joy to be able to journey with you.
Welcome to Inside the Honors College, where we believe that wisdom and virtue is found when we learn together.
We can't wait for you to join us as we take an inside look at a community dedicated to educating the next generation of disciples and scholars.
Taina, I seriously cannot think of a better person to tell us. What is Inside the Honors College, and what is the goal of this space?
Ellie, you flatter me, but I will answer anyway. This podcast has been a great opportunity to bring some awesome experiences and narratives from honors to light here. As a performer and creator myself, I've always had a strong appreciation for listening to and telling stories. We've tried our best, I think, to create safe spaces for these genuine dialogues between fellow scholars, disciples, our friends, and I definitely don't want to take any of that for granted. The Honors College is full of intentional and intelligent students, and getting to highlight them as we've been doing and their stories has been a true blessing throughout this whole process for sure.
Oh, that is so sweet. I could not have said that any better. Yeah, as I've reflected on this project, I've just felt an immense sense of gratitude that people have been so willing to share their stories. There's something really vulnerable about sharing who you are and what you're processing with a public audience. There's an awareness that who we are right now is probably not who we're going to be 4 years from now. I think this podcast really captures the heart of the Honors College and the ways in which it has shaped each of us in really profound ways. The stories shared have continually reminded me of the ways God has been at work. I hope they serve as an Ebenezer and an encouragement that we are on the right track.
That was perfect, Ellie. What a beautiful way to describe what we're doing here, and I think that's totally on brand for everything that we've got going on. So thank you all for listening to this sneak peek into Inside the Honors College.
Be sure to follow on Instagram to make sure you don't miss any of the remarkable stories that students from the Honors College share with us in this space.
See y'all next time.
Well, it's next time. Welcome to Inside the Honors College, where we believe that wisdom and virtue is found when we learn together. I'm your host, Curtis Isozaki.
I'm Delaney Ward. I'm Natasha Zimmerman.
And I'm Katie Spillman.
And we're joining you today with our live Inside the Honors College episode. And shout out to our host, Ellie Overman. Give a shout out to Ellie. We love Ryan Estevez. Yeah, shout out for Taina. And we are interviewing all of you. And so we have in the room honors program alumni, faculty, staff, the class of 2023, 2024, and we're really excited for this live podcast episode. Really our heart is to continue to journey together, and we thought this would be kind of a fun way to kind of hear what's been going on in our community, some things that we like to remember, and here on out. And so we are going to get started, and so we'd love to start with just kind of our panelists to kind of get warmed up a little bit with some rapid fire questions. Y'all ready for that? You excited for the rapid fire questions? Okay, here we go. We don't know how this is going to work, so we're just having fun, and so y'all are going to have to join us. Be interactive, and we're going to be moving this mic around, so just get ready for it. Here we go. So, panelists, would you describe the Honors College in one word?
I would say communal.
Okay.
I'd say innovative.
Integrity.
Ooh. Yeah. Okay, and this one's for you because we know that rest is very valuable, and you can sometimes fall asleep in class.
Right.
And
so take that Sabbath.
Yep. It happens. Okay, so how would you describe the Honors College in one word again? And where would be your favorite spot that you like to study or take a nap in? I messed up on that.
Okay, that's good. Actually, I'm gonna take Sabbath then. I think that's also a good word because it's something I've been trying to bring in this this semester. Actually, like following the 6 p.m. to 6 p.m. Saturday, Sunday Sabbath, it's hard and feeling like, okay, come on, I have one more semester, I gotta try it at least, right? But so then to rest during the weekday. If you go to the top floor of Marshburn Library, just by a window, looking out, beautiful, you know what I mean, Cliff, right? But if it's sunny out, and it's a weekend, 7 palms, get your hammock, it's amazing.
And Natasha, you used the word innovative. You know I love that word. And so, considering all of that,
I instantly regret my answer.
So what honors author or text, character in a text, would you recruit to do an escape room with you, and why?
I feel like the obvious answer is Machiavelli. I feel like that's kind of the way to go. Although, and this isn't quite an Honors College text, but it's Honors College adjacent. I just finished rereading Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte, and I feel like Emily could do an escape room. I feel like she knows what she's doing.
And Delaney, with our final kind of panelist host question. How would you describe friendship cultivated at Azusa Pacific University?
Yeah, so you kind of stole my thunder earlier with the whole Aristotle thing,
Okay.
So thanks for that one. But to quote Aristotle, friendship's a virtue, and when I say that, I mean like the friendships that I've developed in the Honors College, through the Honors College, are some of the most encouraging and life-giving friendships that I've ever had. So that's how I would describe that.
Fantastic. Well, at this point in time, we would love for y'all to start to participate in our live podcast, our live Q&A. And so, the question that I have for y'all is pretty easy. What is one thing that you love about the Honors College?
All right, so I'm moving around the room, and this is gonna be like forever, right? It's gonna be in a podcast form.
Yep, here we go.
Okay, so no pressure.
So no pressure.
All right, so what was the question again, Curtis?
What is one thing that you love about the Honors College?
Let's see some hands. Roxy!
Yes, Roxy!
Passing it to you, here you go.
Arts experiences, anybody else love them?
Arts experiences.
Art experiences. All right, what else? Miss Emily?
Marcia Berry and her typing skills.
Need some hands.
Who do we got?
Those are fun.
Come on.
Well done, Katie.
You say colloquy? Colloquy.
All right, love that. We have Connor as well. Please share why. Why colloquy?
yeah.
Let's have it on the mic.
Oh, more depth.
Yeah, let's have it on the mic. Let's start a podcast.
I'm going to go throwback to Engstrom, living with all the honors guys freshman year.
Love
Wish I could
that.
have done it all 4 years, honestly.
Hey, you have a fun story? You have a fun story?
Oh, yeah, probably staying up until 7 a.m. with Josh Cortez. That's when my hobby of ancestry started.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Do we have any alumni in the house or members of the Honors College that used to do those late night Denny's runs for portfolios?
I mean, I'm still trying to get those.
Oh,
like,
still
I'm
trying to work on them.
I mean,
great. So we got another quick speed run. Oh, we got
well, Anna. You have,
Anna. Great. Anna has one. Anna, let's hear it.
Can we hear Naomi first? What do you got?
Game nights in the Angstrom lobby.
Oh.
The class of 2024 feels really left out right now.
Ooh, half the room.
First, Dr. Kern, and just the mentorship that she has provided to me so greatly over the past 2 years. I love her so much, and I want to be here when I grow up.
Shout out to Dr. Kern and our faculty in the room.
Okay, I'm shouting out the class of 2024 who started in the Honors College during the Zoom year. And I would say that's what I'm grateful for with the Honors College, is that even though we were online, I think that I got a lot more out of my first year than other class of 2024 people did, just because I was in the Honors College, I was going to colloquies, I had rhetoric groups, and I was building community even over that online space. So I had it when I came to campus. So that's my shout out.
Yeah. All right, next quick speed round. So fill in the blank. You know the phrase, you love the phrase, it's on the honors report. If not for the Honors College, blank. If not for the Honors College, ...
Is this one a thinker?
This is a thing. Delaney, would you be able to share yours?
Yeah, for sure, absolutely. If not for the Honors College, I wouldn't be able to tackle the big questions that I have or that come up throughout life. So.
Well, like what's the big question?
Yeah.
Come on, why you gotta do me like that? That was not fair.
Right here, James.
If not for the Honors College, I would not have met Curtis.
You'd not be getting a Curtis
Same. I would have met James.
If not for Curtis, there would be no Curtis pin. All
Oh my gosh. That's one thing I love about the Honors College.
What's your name? Why you gotta do this? My name is Clifford Young III.
And we have Clifford Young the second in the house.
I would say if not for the Honors College, I would never have gotten a letter of rec from this fabulous man, Dr. Weeks, for grad school, and there would be no fireside chat. So I'm very thankful for that. Very, very thankful.
Let's do one more.
I'm gonna,
right over here.
I'm sorry, I feel like I did
Let's go.
Can we do two more?
I feel bad being chosen now. My answer's kind of silly.
No, I love it. It's great. We need it.
If it wasn't for the Honors College, I would still be saying in all of my speeches.
Okay, we have a question for alumni. So any alumni in the house, raise your hand. Any alumni, just so we can get an idea. Okay, we'd love to get at least one answer from y'all. Okay, this is really, really significant of a question. Okay, we have a lot of people graduating sometime in the near future, and so what part of your APU or Honors College experience do you wish that you had after you graduated?
Are we just going to target our alum? Like,
yeah, we might as well. So we have Silas Griffin in the house.
All right.
He passes down.
I really just miss all the people, being able to, stay up late on campus and, talk about all the big questions. Yeah. That's what I wish that I had still had time to do and had a community to do that with.
Yeah. Thanks for sharing. And then James is over here, James Morgan. Would you be willing to share as well?
Can I go back a question?
You can go back a question, answer that question, and yeah.
I'll go back and say I'm thankful for the honors program because it led me to my wife.
Yeah.
Getting accepted into the honors program at APU is what tipped the scales for me to come here, and that's what obviously led to a lot of things in my life. So that's one thing I'm grateful for.
Incredible.
Fun fact.
when we were writing the new honors report, at one point we had an article called "Love in the Honors College," and we were like, figuring out all the couples that met at the honors college. The list was so long, it didn't make it in the honors report. So.
All right, parents, this one's for you. Can we get a shout out to the parents? All right, any parents willing to answer this question would be amazing. Okay, so how have you seen your student grow since they've been in the Honors College here at Azusa Pacific University?
Yeah, Mom.
Okay, might as well walk the mic over.
I've seen Caden's gifts just blossom and bloom, but I've also seen how he's taken leadership to the next level. I've loved how he has taken all these opportunities that you've given him and all the patience, Curtis, Dr. Gardner, that you've given to him all these years. I'm so proud of him.
I've seen in my son that the thoughts of his imagination are backed up by thoughts of all of the scholars and just wonderful writers, instead of just being, oh, I think this way. I think this way because, and this is why. So that's good.
Just to kind of finish our time together, I have one more question. We have one more question. This one. What advice would you have for the future Honors College community?
And is this for everyone?
Anyone.
Anyone. Future advice for our future community. What's your name?
I'm Katie.
Hi, Katie.
2023. I would say, especially for the incoming community, use your mentors. I was a mentor, and I still lean on my mentor from when I was a freshman. I actually got invited to her wedding, so that was really cool. So use your mentors, be open to asking questions, and they can answer literally anything in your major or in honors.
Amazing.
Yeah, I would say be vulnerable. I remember my freshman year, I was so scared to talk in colloquy, and now I talk the most and I can't shut up. So be vulnerable and open to everything you're going to learn here. Soak it all in, and it's going to be worth it.
Amazing. All right, maybe one more.
I didn't let Miss Caitlin speak yet.
Yeah, don't be afraid to say yes. I think the biggest thing about the Honors College was the community that it forms, and if you say yes to those times of going to Denny's at late night to do your portfolio, or to go play bananagrams in the Angstrom lobby, like those things are the memories that you remember, so don't be afraid to say yes.
Great, well, I'm so thankful for our Honors College community. Delaney, Natasha, wasn't that great?
Yeah, super fun. You want me to say no?
No way. Well, hey, it was really, really fun, everyone, to kind of hear from our parents, our alumni, our current students, joining our podcast live. We've never done one of these before. We hope that you continue to have an amazing Honors College Scholar Celebration. We're excited for Natasha to take it away and kind of share a little bit about this new tradition that we hope to continue every year, that alumni will continue to come back and participate in times and years to come. And so we're excited for this being the beginning of the future of the Honors College.
Hi everyone, I'm so thankful that you guys are here. This day has been like so long in the make. Sorry, it's really intimidating saying like in a speech with Dr. Barry sitting in the back. This is casual public speaking. No, I'm so excited that you guys are all here and that we get to like enjoy this time with you. I want to introduce a little bit about the tradition that we're starting here in the Honors College for the people who have completed their core courses within the Honors College. That's what this whole celebration is for. We've been having a lot of conversations, Curtis and I, and looping in Dr. Weeks, about kind of the legacy that we want to start with the Honors College and how we want to take this time to celebrate you guys, but also to create a tradition that lasts way longer than the class of 2023 or the class of 2024. So we really wanted to like be super intentional about what we're doing here today. And so Curtis he actually added it for a task in my, to-do list. He was like, you need to think of, what kind of tradition we need to start here. And I was like, great, that's like no pressure at all. Let me just brainstorm that. And it really got me thinking about when I came to APU for the very first time, as a sophomore, actually, when I got on campus. I was hanging out with my friend Hannah Gibson, if any of you remember her. Okay, cool. That's fine. She won't see this. But she was a fifth-year senior at the time, and I think she was hazing me just a little bit. She was just telling me stories about like traditions that happen on campus, and she told me that when you go outside of Wilden, if you jump up and you tap the cougar's paw on your anytime that you have a test, that'll give you good luck for the test, and you'll ace the test. Now, I have asked other people since then, and there is no one on campus who corroborates that story. I have no idea where she gets that from. Some people have said if you jump up and you tap it like your first day, it means that you graduate in 4 years. I think that's too low of a bar. But I really, it stuck with me, this idea that like Freddy Cougar is always looking out for us right outside. But here's the thing, here's the catch-22, to quote a book that we haven't read in the Honors College. We don't have tests. That's like our thing, we don't do tests. So I was thinking about it, and I was like, well, how do you incorporate that into the fact that the Honors College doesn't include tests? And I think the answer is that, as cheesy as it sounds, like the real test is what happens next, We get here, we have these amazing discussions, we meet some of our closest friends in the world, and then we just have to carry that forward, and we have to figure out what to do next with our lives. Now, this isn't commencement, so it's not some huge goodbye. We'll get to that in a month or so, so we can be in denial for that time. But in the meantime, we really wanted to take this opportunity to wish you all good luck on the test of what happens next, and to remind you that if you ever need to come back, the Cougar will always be here for you, and so will we. So that's sort of our roundabout explanation for this tradition that we're starting. So here's what's going to happen. In a couple minutes, we are going to walk outside of those double doors, and we are going to head out of Wilden, and you'll be handed your Curtis pin that says that you've completed all of your core courses in the Honors College. And then from there, as soon as you're handed your pin, you can go up and jump and tap the cougar's paw, and then circle back in, and you guys can continue to hang out and get some food, get some drinks, and then we'll hear a commissioning from our wonderful dean, Dr. Weeks, and then that's the end of the ceremony, and then we just go forward and pretend it's not sad to think that any of us have to leave at some point. So that's what we'll do. We'll head outside of the double doors. When you guys are ready, I'd love if for parents and faculty or just friends who aren't in the Honors College celebrating this new tradition to just celebrate with us, just get some cheers out there, we'll be filming it so you can see all of your children hanging out on the cougar's paw. It'll be really fun, and I'm just so excited that we get to start this tradition and that we get to be the first 2 classes to go through and do this together. And I hope it becomes a symbol for a lot of classes going forward of what we stand for here in the Honors College and the support that we hope to give to everyone. So. If you're on Zoom, you can go ahead. We'll have this APU Honors link. We're going to switch from Zoom over to Instagram Live. I'd like to thank the wonderful Rick Roberts for helping us with that, hosting that Instagram Live, and then we'll switch back to Zoom after the ceremony is over for the commissioning. So if you guys will all indulge me, let's head out and we can start our tradition. You can head back to your No, you can take
How you doing, sir?
Doing well. How about you?
Doing good. Doing good. I'm looking forward to the Sabbath.
You need a break.
Are you guys all ready? All right. So we're going to wrap up our event today. First of all, I want to say welcome back to our guest on the live stream. It's great to have you back with us. So first of all, how about one more round of applause for our honor scholars? I hope you wear those pins proudly for a very long time. So here are my sort of final words to you today. I want you all to know that your faculty have been inspired by you. Your friends have been inspired by you. Your exhibition of virtuous friendship with one another has been a very positive thing for this community, and I hope it is something that you take with you. My hope is that you take what you have learned in the Honors College to become a better person and to influence others to do likewise. My prayer is that God will bless you and keep you, be gracious to you, and give you peace. And my admonition, my commission to all honor scholars is the same charge that Moses gave to a young Joshua, and that is, be strong and courageous so that you may live a life worthy of the calling you have received from God. So blessings on each and every honor scholar. Congratulations. I guess we needed to practice that.